Hello everybody, welcome for this new episode of the Bestiary of Terebia, and today we'll talk to you about the Jumkad. So what is a Jumkad? As you can see here, it looks like a camel with a lot of beautiful equipment, and honestly it's not very necessary. All the equipment are not necessary, but it make the camel beautiful, and generally a lot of people who ignore their true nature can think it's a camel of a pretty rich trader. It's considered as a monster. Its regular number is 38, it's pretty high, and the advice is ignore it. So for the pretense, it's the same thing. You have just the pretty scale, which is pretty low, but pretty useless, in fact, um, because a pretty scale is just here to say if you have to kill the creature or not, as an agent of the pretense, but it seems impossible to kill a Jumquad, so the pretty scale is not important. So here I have the position on the triangle of Wolfric, and here the localization of Terebia. So it's in the extreme south. It's a desert, a sand desert, pretty hot in its middle, with only some cities, pretty rich cities, because you have in the middle of the cities uh, oasis or pits in which you will find water, and around it you will have agriculture of very very expensive plants. Uh, in fact, everywhere in Terbia, especially in the north and the west, you have a lot of people who are ready to pay a lot of money for that plant because of the taste. You have also in the north, in the middle, diamonds, gold, and silver. A lot of things, in fact. And so, even if it's pretty difficult to live in the desert, if you succeed to do it, you can become very rich quickly. So, because of that, you will have a lot of traders' family, but some families became the biggest one. So, you have their name here, and they all create a Quasila. It's a city, in fact. In the middle, you will have a palace and a religious building, around it a city with the agriculture, of course, and in the corner you will have the marketplace. And it's around that marketplace that the Jumquad will be. So here you have the name of the different Quasila and their localization. If you try if you see a Jumquad, if you try to bring him back to the market, he will refuse. It will be impossible to move him, and if you try to hurt him to make him move, he will attack you in return, and can be pretty dangerous. But if you try to climb on him uh, to take hit for you, of course it's a camel which have a lot of luxurious and beautiful equipment on him, so it can be interesting for some for someone to take him, to take it, and to sell the equipment or the camel in another market, of course. But if you do this, it will bring you in the middle of the desert, and you will die, because it will be impossible for you to get down. So you'll be blocked on the camel and you will die. If you try to kill it, because it can seem to be a good idea to kill them. In fact, it will attack you if you are alone, and if you are in group, it will run away. We don't have any serious text or story of someone who succeeded to kill Jumkad. If you are trapped on the Jumkad, you will die, become a skeleton, and then you and the camel will create a Sayyid Jumquad. So as you can see, it's skeletons. It's skeletons with the human body, which have a long spear. It's in fact it's a very common spear of the cavalry of the region. They a lot of the biggest part of them have spears, but sometimes some people have axes, swords, or mass, but we don't know why. And as the same way, sometimes it's not a camel, it's a horse. It's pretty. It's not. It's very uncommon, of course. And the Saint Jumquad with a horse body seems to be less dangerous because the camel seems to go faster than the horses. So it's considered as a monster. It seems to be impossible to kill a Saint Jumquad. It's only a number because of that and the fact it's very, very aggressive. If Saint Jumquad saw something living, something big, of course, so other camel, horses, human, or all the biggest creatures, it will attack them. And the advice is go in a house or a tent. I will explain it a bit later. For the pretense, it's the same thing. You can see here you have a pretty scale, but in fact, as I said, the pretty scale is here to say if you have to kill or not a creature, but it seems to be impossible to kill a Sage Jumquad, so the pretty scale is pretty useless. And here we have the position on the triangle of a freak. So as you can see, it's in red. It's very, very red. When you are dead, the Sage Jumquad will go to join over them to create. In fact, we don't know if it's to create or to join a Sifat Ramuta. So it's an army of Sage Jumquad. So with all the weapons except bows and crossbows, they seems to be they are not. It's not possible for them to shoot something. Them appear in sandstorms. Of course, it's we don't know if there is a logic because some sandstorms don't bring Sifat Ramuta, so we don't know if there is a logic or not for that. They cross the cities, so they will run through the cities with the speed of a camel, so it's pretty fast. And while doing it, they will kill everything they can find. So it can be cats, dogs, humans, goats, donkey, everything living. In fact, they can also destroy. They can also destroy the other things, but they can't enter in the buildings. There is exceptions. Some of them are can get down from the camel and go in the building, but you will need two conditions for that. You need for to go in a building, they need to don't have a door closed in face of them. So if you are in a very strong castle, but if you don't have a door, they will be able to go in. But if you have a little house in wood, not pretty pretty strong, or even a tent of canvas, but completely closed, you will be safe. And the second condition is to be able to go in uh, the house is they can't go upstairs or downstairs. They can only go to the level which is at the same level of the exterior, of course. And finally, they don't seem to have clear goals. The attacks don't have any logic. They can attack a little camp two times in the same week, and you can have a city completely exposed. They will not necessarily attack it. There is no logic. It's pretty unpredictable, and it's because of that they are considered as very dangerous because they don't have to establish a good strategy because they are immortal, and you can't say when they will attack. Here you have after another rule is they can't attack during the night. We don't know why they never attack during the night. You have here two lines. The yellow one is the number of attack, and the red one is the number of Jumkad. So you can see that you have a lot of the biggest part of the attack take place during the middle of the days in quantity but also in quality because you can see when at the beginning of the afternoon you will have we have text which talk about attack of 18,000 Jumkad, Site Jumkad, which completely destroyed cities. And of course, you could say, but they are stupid. They just have to create walls around the cities, and they can close the doors of the cities. In fact, it's impossible because when some people noticed you have some clues in a city 2 or 3 days before the attack, you will have information. The first one is that it became impossible to close the door of the city. The second one is that the animals seems to be scared, and the third one is that you will have a sound of wind, but we don't have any wind. So it's the three things which can alert you from an attack. Here you have this symbol. It's a flag. So it's a drawing of a flag which was supposed to be seen in a troop say Jumkad, but nobody know what it can represent. So the text on it, it's pretty similar to the text you could see on the flag of the biggest traders family. but nobody know this flag. So we don't know. First, we don't know if it's true. We have only a lot of people who said they saw it, but it's the only the only thing. We don't have, for example, found one of whose flag after an attack, but it's we absolutely don't we do not know anything about that flag. Now, what is the relation of the scarecrow with the Jumkad? In fact, it's pretty simple. You can't predict their attack with a lot of precision. You can't fight them. You can't kill them. Well, you just have to say to your agents or to your soldiers, to your soldiers, stay safe, and that's all. You can't do anything. So they didn't say, they didn't give informations except to stop people to go on the jump quad when they saw them, but nothing more. Well, it's all you had to know about the jump quad. I hope you enjoyed the video. For the next episode, you can choose between the Wam Raffia, the Vizal Utah, or the Upe. And bye to the next episode.